So, good afternoon, my dear viewers. Today I'm gonna have another Rust stream. I was learning some new concept recently, as I already have this package called Image Resize Service. It's just something that I'm gonna invoke from another application written in another language. And here I was originally creating commands by using enum, but this is, in my opinion, is not the best solution to the problem, because first of all, enums require me to modify every time this type, and I can't have different behaviors based on different variations of the enum. So I was thinking about, and I came with this idea of a command trait that would encapsulate the logic related to processing a command, and then also we'll have some additional things that I'm gonna use in order to reduce commands into a single one, because I would accept a lot of resize commands through the socket from different clients. And when those resize commands are related to the same image and they are executed within the same background job, I want to group them all together. So that's why I have here an idea of the merge method. I have here an idea of the hash key method itself, and trait that's gonna return me a unique ID by which I can store this data into a hash map. And then I have a process handler. This one actually gonna return me a future that will resolve in the future into an event. Okay, so let's go on and see what else do I have here. Also, I have here events. Those are also enums. I didn't create yet a trait for events, but I will create it at a later stage. So for now, I just created this trait here. I'm also gonna move all of my tests that I was writing for this trait, and I'm gonna implement them actually from scratch in the new implementation for every single trait type. So let's see what I can build now. Let me create a new Rust file. I'm gonna call it probably yeah, it's gonna be also later on renamed to the commands, because I'm gonna remove the original commands. Let's call like new commands and .rs. Oh, what's up? Okay, so new commands. We'll later on replace one as soon as we move it. So let's create a trait inside of this commands functionality. Also, let's resolve these dependencies like features and events. Okay, so here we have this one used, and now let's remove a trait suffix here, because it just should be a command in my opinion. And now I'm gonna go over into implementing the command itself, but let me start from defining new tests module. Right, and here I'm gonna have some tests. Oh, actually I have, nice, I have actually already a test shortcut here. So first of all, I'm gonna create yeah, let's call it wrong command. So this is going to be all the tests related to the wrong command, because I want right away to make sure that the wrong commands are properly created with right process handler, so it will return me back a feature that already will result in particular event. Let's see. Now I'm gonna create a new test case. I will name it resolves into, actually, processed as wrong command, wrong input event. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna return back to the end user an event that's gonna represent the wrong input type. And here, let's remove for now assert equals. Also, we need actually to import this module into main to make it work. Let's see, can I run it now? Yeah. Let's see, can it run? Okay, it compiles, it's good. So now I can create also, actually I'm gonna remove here the events trait. Oh, so events enum import, and I'm just gonna create another trait called event. And event itself is gonna have only one function, the same one that I have here on the event. I have this function called toString. So this one is gonna create a new event representation as a string in JSON format. So let's do that one. Yeah, so new comments, and let's create this to string method definition that would return us back a string. And here I'm gonna continue with writing now a test. What's take self? Oh, okay, this is my bad. So yeah, this should be good. So it takes self by reference, and it returns back a string representation. So we can send it back over the TCP connection to the clients that connect to our socket server. Okay, so let's see. We're gonna write this wrong command test case. First test case is processed as wrong input event. Yeah, this is, I think, the most simplest test. So first of all, we're gonna create a struct called wrong command, and it will have something like reason being sent, being an information why the command input was wrong from the end user. So here we're gonna create this wrong command. Let's say your reason is gonna be let's use some text like yeah, so we'll say that something went wrong. Okay, it's not gonna compile because we don't have yet this method. So first of all, let command be wrong command new, We also need to create the implementation for this wrong command in order to make it compile. Oh, yeah, it's not Java. Still learning Rust, so it should be reason and the type of the string, and then we can return back. Yeah, we don't even need to use return. We just specify reason here like that. So does it show us something? Let's print len command in our test and see if it runs. Okay, it doesn't compile because, yeah, I was supposed to do something like this. Now let's see. Does it run? Okay, another one. Okay, just without this one. Let's run it again. Failed to resolve. Not a module. Yeah, because what's wrong with it? Struct wrong command. Oh yeah. So use super all. So it's gonna use the wrong command from our implementation. Okay, now it's telling us something. It tells us that, yeah, I pass not the string but something different. Okay, now I can just use format as an argument. It's gonna solve the problem because maybe in future I want to add something more. Okay, cannot be formatted with the default. Formatter, yeah, because I need also to specify that this one derives debug, as far as I remember. I can take a look at this one. Yeah, so debug, and also I need to make sure that I can also run partial equal, right? So I should be able to run something like this, and yeah, probably it's without the exclamation mark. Oh yeah, this is what I need to do. Let's see. Yeah, now it compiles. Yeah, it doesn't output anything so far. Let's see. Now I need to call this method called process handler. So I need to create implementation of command for wrong command, and here I'm gonna specify those methods. Can I generate them? How can I automatically fix this one? I think Alt Enter. Yeah, implement members, all of them. Let's just see. Okay, everything is there. So now I can call this process handler, right? Does it work like this? Oh, I need to make it a public function, right? So it should be a pub. Oh yeah. I need to make it a public on top of the trade, right? Why it cannot have public qualifier? Oh, or probably I have to specify the trade itself as a public, and then maybe it will infer that it is public as well. No, not yet. Why it happens? Why it happens? What's going on here? Why it can have a public qualifier? Oh, definitely. Here is my issue. It should return back self. So here's my issue. It's not a problem with the definition itself. I probably can send it back because for now I'm not going to make it public so far. So okay, so process handler, and I'm gonna create just a very simple struct wrong input event with reason as a string 2, and here I'm also gonna derive it from debug, and I'm also gonna use partial equal, and here I'm gonna just implement it, and I'm gonna implement event trade for wrong input event, and I'm gonna implement the member itself. Okay, this seems okay. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna assert equals, and process handler probably wait, unwrap, or I can do something like this. So the process handler is gonna be a future that's gonna turn me back a result of our event. So I'm gonna assert that it equals to wrong input event. Yeah, let's right away create a new event. And let's see how can I make it working. So okay, I also will pass here format as an argument, and here I also gonna implement the wrong input event itself. I'm gonna create a function new that will return back a new instance of wrong input event. I like creating a constructor for this kind of data. So here I'm gonna specify that I receive a reason as an argument that is a string. Let's see, does it compile? No, it doesn't compile because the wait method cannot be invoked on trait objects. Okay, why? Oh, definitely. So it tries to find an error type. But why it doesn't find an error here? Let's see. Why it doesn't find an error as a type here? cd io error. Then we have item event. This is the correct one. Then we have an error from a feature. Why then it allowed me actually to compile it? Let me try to run it again. Let's see what it complains now. So okay, I cannot invoke the command handler, process handler. Yeah, let's just see if it just wait or it's something else. Okay, so it is something related to boxing and other stuff. Okay, let's leave it for now unimplemented. Let's go to the rest. Yeah, let's create other test cases. First of all, we can implement, let's say, merge with and hash key methods. So for the wrong command, it's going to be very straightforward. It's measures itself. Yeah, does not merge with other wrong commands. This is a very simple idea that the wrong command cannot be collapsed into a single one because, yeah, we just want to send the same. We want to send the same response back to this command as a result. So let's see. Here we have format, something went wrong. Okay, this is good. Now we can go on and write an insert equals of wrong in wrong command. Let's just say that let command be command wrong command new with reason with some reasons to fail. Okay, now we're gonna have something here. Yeah, let's reduce the size on the left because we don't need to see this window. Now let's assert that command is equal to command merge with, and here we'll create another instance of raw command new that will format with something else. Okay, let's run our test. I expect it's gonna fail. Okay, now we have some issues with the trade implementation. Okay, let's remove this one. Why merge with is not a member of trade command? Oh, okay. I did mess up here. Merge with. Okay, now it only complains about the process handler. Let's comment this out for now. Let's see how can I do it later on. Let's run it again. Not a member of trade command. What is not a member? Oh yeah, definitely. Oh my goodness, this keyword makes it not easy. Okay, let's run it. Test framework quit unexpectedly because of unimplemented panic. Okay, good. Now we can just let's say return other, just to make sure that our test fails. And why it quit unexpectedly. Okay, now it shows me an error that yeah, they expected wrong command reasons, but we received wrong command reasons something else. So we can fix it very easily. We can actually just ignore this argument, and here we can just return self. And what's the problem? The problem is that okay, so I just need to create another instance of wrong command with wrong command internally, or with self, I think. Can I expected got self? Yeah, probably it's gonna be can I just return it like this? Oh, so I have to clone it. But what if I just want to return self? I don't want to clone, I just want to return the command itself. I can do it. Expected wrong command. Okay. Yeah, it should return a mutable value. back, but yeah, it's a little bit strange. Okay, so I have merge with that should return us another instance of the wrong command. How do I fix it? It's a very interesting problem. Yeah, a newcomer to Rust is making some weird things. Probably if you are already familiar with Rust, you probably laughing out loud over there in me trying to understand what gets wrong here. Okay, assert equals command merge with, so this is the result, but I want to get, can I just have self not as a reference? Can I just do it like this? What's wrong with the syntax? Expected. Oh, yeah. Cannot move out of command because it is borrowed. Okay, this is more interesting. So let's create a clear instance. Oh, I see what's the problem. The problem is that, yeah, I tried to assert the same instance that's already gone in memory. Yeah, it's specifics of ownership model. Maybe there is more efficient way to do it, but I'm just trying to make this code work. Okay, the test passes, and it's first green test for today that really implements something. So let's also inline this one. Command Shift. No. How do I inline in Windows? Refactor. Oh, there is no inline in refactoring for Rust API. Okay, let's just do something like this. So here's our command, and we expect that it's gonna stay the same command as it was before. Okay, now let's create another test case. And now we're gonna return back a unique hash key. Returns reason as a hash key. Okay, and now we're gonna return back run command. Oh, actually, we're gonna return assert that it equals to run command, and then we're gonna specify that there is some reason value, and here we're gonna create the wrong command, new some reason value, And here we're gonna return back hash key. Okay, good. Here I all the time need to use this format syntax. It makes it a little bit complex, but I read that strings are allocated on a heap and string literals are allocated on stack. So because of that, you cannot use them directly interchangeably within a code base. So let's see. Okay, now it tells that it panicked with a not implemented call here. So let's just return self reason. And here we're gonna format and here we're gonna use what are we gonna use? We're gonna use this text. Yeah, let's make it just fail, wrong, and then something. Let's see if it's gonna fail. This function, what it doesn't return, yeah, because I need to remove the semicolon. Okay, now it tells that wrong some reason value is not equal to wrong command some reason value. So yeah, let's put it like this, wrong command and then the reason, and now it should pass. Yeah, so now it's green. Good. Also, I was thinking about maybe we can use the referencing here where I was struggling with merge with implementation. Maybe I can just use here the referencing. No, I cannot. Why? Yeah, let's see what compiler tells us. Cannot move out of borrowed content. Yeah. Let's do self-clone maybe. And can we clone it and dereference it? What is it gonna tell us now? Can't move out of borrowed content. So how can I fix this error? Probably only by removing usage by reference. So yes, the idea is that the merge will actually consume self and will pass it along. Probably that's the basic idea of memory management, right? So if I just want to return some values and I have to pass it by reference, so then we have a process handler. Okay, now seems like it's gonna work. What else? Which else command I want to implement? Then I have also here a command called Resize Image. I also have find image command that takes a path to a file. Let's see if I can implement it here as well. So let's create another test for find image. And here we're gonna use again super all, and we're gonna also mark it as a test. CFG test. Now let's see, can I create a new test case? Yes, I can. So what does our find image do? So this one actually probably should merge. It doesn't have any logic in merging, so it behaves very similar to the wrong command in the end. So returns same command after merging command with itself. Okay, now we're gonna create this new command itself. Let's call it a find image command. New. Here we'll format it with some file path.jpg. Okay, here we're gonna expect that find image command new it's gonna actually equal to itself too. No matter what we pass here. So command merge with another instance of itself. Okay, so it just should return us the regular one. If I'm gonna run this test, it's gonna fail because there is no find image command implemented. So let's organize it somehow, maybe. So here are the structs. So let's create another command here. It's gonna be find image command, and here I'm gonna specify path string. Okay, good. Then it's gonna have as well an implementation itself. So implement find image command. We're gonna implement here a function for constructing it, of course. Path string, and we're gonna return self. So find image command path, like that. It should now at least compile, but yeah, it tells us that merge with is not found, definitely because we didn't implement trait yet. So let's implement the command trait for find image command. Let's create step version of it. Let's run a test. Let's see, it tells us that new commands find image command cannot be formatted using the regular formatter. Okay, it's clear because I didn't specify derive debug. As well, I didn't specify partial equal. Okay, now let's see. Now it just fails because it panics. So let's make it net panic, and let's just return here other. So it will be a proper failure. Yeah, so now it tells that the path is not equal to one that we expect. So now let's return self, and now I think we are done with implementing this test case. Yeah, so now it's green. Let's actually see all our green test cases. Yeah, that's good. Now we're gonna create another one. Oh yeah, it's test, and now we're gonna set that returns a file path as a hash key. Okay, now let's assert equals to get some file paths, right? So here we have very nice file paths, and now we're gonna specify here it as a hash key, and here we're gonna specify that it's gonna be a find image command. Good. And now we're gonna also add return same command after. Okay, so here I need actually to instantiate it as well, and here I'm gonna pass the same file paths in a constructor. Let's see, does it work? It seems like it does. At least it tells us that it panics because it's not implemented. So here I can just return an empty string, actually like this, yeah. String from. So make sure that it just doesn't panic, it just returns something empty. Yeah, so now it just tells that it's failing. So okay, now we can replace this one with format, and we can format it as some value with find image command. And here I'm gonna provide as an argument self path. Okay, does it work? Perfect. That's perfect. So the hash key working good. I actually don't need to return here. I don't know, it just my way of developing in other languages. I forgot that in Rust you don't need to run these returns all the time. Okay, so what we have here, we have everything green, it's good. Now we need to actually create the last command itself, and it's gonna be struct find actually resize image command, and this one is gonna contain the path to the image, of course, and as well it's gonna contain targets, and this is gonna be a vector of image target. Of course, we need to create a struct of image targets. So image target is going to be a tuple of path. Oh yeah, string. Then it's going to be. Let me check what was the original size I was using before. So U32, correct. And here U32. So this is a vector of image targets. And now we're gonna create also an implementation of this one. So implementation for image resize command. Resize image command. Here is going to be a function new, of course. It's going to receive as an argument. Probably we're going to have path, right, of the image, and we're going to have as well targets. As vector of image targets. Right, now we can implement this one. It's going to return back self. So resize image command with path and targets. That's good. Now we can implement a comment trait for resize image command, and here we're just gonna implement this method steps. Now let's create another test case mod image resize. Okay, that seems good. Now let's create a test case, and now this test case is gonna check that it actually now this command needs to merge together multiple commands. So here we're gonna specify that merges targets from another command. Here we're gonna create an assertion that image resize command or resize image command, new with some path format, some path. GPG. Okay. We're gonna assert that it merges together two vectors. Let's create a new vector of various image targets. So some paths 100 by some paths dash 100 by 200 GPG, and let's create 100 to 100 as a size parameter. Let's also put this format here as well. Can I maybe use just into? Maybe it's gonna be better. Oh, great. I can just use into and then it's gonna convert it into required type. Can I use the same here with paths? Oh, perfect. Actually, then I don't need this format macro. Good. Good. Now it doesn't complain at least. Okay. Let's run it again. Missing tokens in macro arguments. Where did I specify macro? Oh yeah. Resize. Yeah. Here we're just gonna have command, and here I'm gonna create that command resize image command new with some paths .gpg. This is, I remember, was the original one, and here we're gonna put this vector as well. Yes, good. Now I can create like this. What we have here, mismatch type string found str, yeah, so I need to use into here, and let's see if it's gonna compile. Could not compile because a local variable with similar name exists. Okay, because of a typo. That's so nice. Resize image command, it cannot be printed because I didn't specify a derive statement for a type, debug, and then partial equal. So here we're gonna do it, and now let's rerun the test and see what's the result. An implementation of missing for image target. So I need to do the same for image target. Yeah, finally it's green. It's green because, yeah, I didn't test anything here. So far so good. I just wanted to replace all these formats in my tests with into, because it makes it more readable and reasonable. Let's see. And now I can just add another one. And where is format again? Here is the format. Let me add it here as well. And here I'm gonna execute another format into, and let's replace this one as well. Okay. Now my test pass, and now I can go on and continue creating merge with, and I'm gonna merge it with another Resize Image command, and it's gonna be a new command with the same path, but it's gonna have different vector of targets. So it's gonna have image target of some path, and let's put it 200 by 300.jpg, and we specify here in 2, and here then we specify 200 by 300. Does it work? Let's see. Now it should have failed actually. Why it didn't fail? Because I didn't run my test. Very nice. Good. Now it panics. It's good. Now I can go with merge with, and here I can create this Resize Image command. What I actually can do, yeah, I can just return self for now, just to make it fail in a proper way. Oh, actually, yeah, now I see that my test is actually broken, because I need to add both of these targets into the output. And here it's going to be 200 by 300. So the basic idea is that I can collapse multiple Resize Image commands that have the same path into a single one. So let's see. Now I have a failure message that tells that it doesn't match, and it's understandable because I didn't implement it. I just return self here. So what I can do, I can just create a new Resize Image command with self. Okay, so it's 2 dots, and now I'm gonna specify targets as self targets concat with other targets. Can I do like this? What is a concat? How does it work? I'll concat it for join. Okay, it's a little bit different. It's not what I expect. I actually wanted to merge. Is there something like merge in vector? Can I somehow add another vector into it? Interesting. Let's quickly check documentation, adding vectors in Rust. How do I concatenate a vector? Okay, so both of them needs to be mutable. Oh, then okay, then I can use actually into iter. Okay, into iter, chain, into iter, and then collect. And I actually need to consume the vector itself, so we can use into iter, other targets, into iter, and then we have, so this is into iter, then chain, other, right, and here in the end I use a collect, right? So does it work? Apparently it does. Okay, nice. So here how you merge vectors. Let's make it a little bit simpler to grasp. So I use self targets. I convert them into iterator. Then I chain another iterator, so this one is executed afterwards. And then that's all, I think. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Now the test passing. What I also want to do, I want to run a test that will test that merges targets ordered by image. However, yeah, the ordering doesn't matter much for me, because I anyway gonna first of all load the source image, then I'm gonna resize every image from a source one. Okay, now what do we have here? Okay, so we can say that this one is actually done. Good. So now let's run another test, and we tell that it returns image path, source image path as hash key. Okay, here we're gonna tell that we assert that it's gonna equal to resize image command to underscores, and then image path.jpg, and now we're gonna create this resize image command new and here I'm gonna create this image path.gpg, and I need to convert it into a string, and then I need also to specify an empty vector, because the variations of the image sizes doesn't matter for this test case, so I just specify that I'm gonna receive back a hash key of this object. Okay, so now we have return source image path as a hash key. This is the expectation. This is the actual exercise. Let's run the test. I see a failure because it panicked because there's unimplemented one. Let's use format here of empty string. Let's see, now it properly fails because it's not what we expect. So it's gonna be a resize image command, and then it's gonna be a value from self.path. So seems like we have everything done here. The only things that we don't have a process handler. Okay, so how can we overcome a limitation of this process handler issue itself? For now, probably not much, because now I also want to make sure that our factory from a string is gonna work with the type. So here we have a factory into which we provide a string that tells, hey, please find for me a file, and then we assert to which object it equals. So let's create the same kind of tests here as well. So let's create a new CFG test module factory. So this is a factory of the commands, and it's actually going to be our public fan create command from JSON string. So this is something that we expect. We expect it to return back command, and here why can't I just return back a trait? Let's Google up Rust return a trait. Okay, so I need to specify implementation of command. So this is what it's gonna return. Implemented. Good. Let's see. The trait is not implemented for that one, and it's probably because I didn't return something. Okay, let's just return wrong command new. Let's see. Okay, now it compiles. So the only way was to make it compile. Now I'm gonna write a test case. It's gonna use super all, and here we're gonna name our test case given invalid JSON string creates a wrong command with info on wrong string, wrong JSON structure. Okay. Creates from com as info on wrong JSON structure. Then we have the assert that we're gonna receive back wrong command u invalid JSON structure is provided, and here we need to convert it into a string. Now we're gonna run this create command from JSON string, and here we're gonna pass a string of JSON data, and yeah, we're gonna convert it into, and here we receive as an argument a string of JSON. Let's see. So let's provide some wrong JSON data. This definitely should result in error like invalid JSON structure is provided. So let's see. Now it tells us that it doesn't implement debug formatter. Why? Can I also derive here of debug? No, I cannot. Why then? Why then I can't run assert equals? Comma cannot be formatted using, because it doesn't implement std debug. Okay, so it means I have implicitly specified that this command trait is extended from debug. Is it correct that I have to do it? Found a packet. Okay, expected struct new commands found. Expected struct found packet type. Let's Google it. Okay, it's interesting issues that other people also have. Yeah, it doesn't answer my question. So, match arms, okay. Maybe I have then to specify something like run command or find yeah, let's see. Okay, maybe it's because I have a struct being not defined as public. Okay, let's see. Public. Can I now run it? Still can't grasp what's going wrong there. Expect to struct new comments. How do I actually properly test then creation of any instances and comparing them? Can I then do it something like this? Why there is a problem? So how can I define it? It's very interesting. Let's see. Return trait from function. So return okay. Then if I want to return back the implementation of the trait, what if I want to return a concrete type? Learn Rust traits. Okay. Okay, how do I make sure that isn't due to restrictions around how implementation is implemented? Using traits that allows, okay, this is what I'm looking for. So I only can box it. Okay. So what I can create. How can I then do it? So I can only do it with boxing a trait. Okay, so let's do it like this. Let's say that we return back a box of dynamic trait command, and here it should be box new. Let's see. The trait cannot be made into okay, it's not good. It's really not good in my opinion. So I cannot really make it flexible enough. So I just wanted to make sure that I can run these commands independently from specific types. Yeah, so yeah, so here's the object safety. Can I return multiple types? Okay, let's see about the return values. Yeah, let's Google it. Returning multiple values from a function in Rust. Okay. So yeah, it's the only problem that I can't do it with just testing like that. So I cannot really test the complete object, seems like it. So let's see if I can just instantiate it. Yeah, I don't want to return box dynamic. I just want to return back I just want to return back this command implementation. So it's not implemented for boxed. I don't need a boxed command. Let's see. Missing tokens. Okay, so what I can do, I can assert the hash key in this case, and the hash key should be this reason. Yeah, what was actually the object I was trying to evaluate against? Let's go back. We then reverted back. So invalid JSON structure is provided. So let me copy it over. And now I'm just gonna redo all the changes I did. And now I can run command colon and then the reason and the hash key. Okay. Okay, so now it passes. Now it passes, and this code looks absolutely okay for our compiler. So yeah, this one still will implement a static dispatch, but at the same time it's a little bit complicated, right? So if I really want to test out the right object being returned, it's gonna be a little bit complex. Can I also somehow match a type? It's actually very interesting to see. Can I match a command being returned from this one? So can I use a match arm for this one and some wrong command? What it tells? Okay, so it should be exhaustive, and then we're gonna panic with some message like, hey, it works, right? And here we're just gonna panic it doesn't work. So in such a way, I'm just gonna test out the concept. If my idea actually works. Expected packet type found enum option. Okay. So it actually doesn't match it. And here can we turn back our, yeah, can I put a reason here? why. It tells us expected a packet type found struct, wrong command. Okay, I see what the problem is. Yeah, so you cannot actually directly find what kind of command is executed, so commands should be completely encapsulated. So for this purpose, I think it makes sense to refactor this merge method, because in ideal situation it just should return back both of them, so it's not gonna consume those ones. But yeah, the hash key I think already protects us because it's already has a type prefix here, and then when we're gonna try to merge the commands together, yeah, they're just gonna be executed. But yeah, then we cannot just try to process them right away. We have to put all of the commands into the background worker, and the background worker then will collapse them into single list, will walk through them and answer back to the client if something goes wrong with the command. So let's see. This type itself, the process handler, is not working, but this one I'm gonna look for ways how I can do it later on, and for the next stream I'm gonna prepare something finite and working. Okay, so now at least I have all tests pass. I'm happy with the implementation so far. Let's see if I can run all the tests in this module. Okay, so the factory is actually panicking because assertion. Oh yeah, so I actually didn't run a test. So let's see. Let's run this test and make this test green, and then yeah, it should be done. Oh, actually, I wanted to implement the deserialization process first of all, right? So I already have the deserialization process in a command here for different data structures. I think I can just copy paste this one, and I can just adjust my tests to reflect the new structure. So here I have a wrong command. Oh, actually, I can try another trick. I can try a merge with trick. Let's see. Can I just assert that equals to wrong command? Command new into this one. Does it work? Oh yeah, the rest of the tests are gonna fail. The trait new command cannot be made. Yeah, it's clear, but expected a packet. Okay. So I can't validate a merge. So yeah, it's a little bit pity, but hope we can have some kind of private method maybe that we can use outside. So the hash key is also a private method for a command. Oh, actually, I can try to make two. I can try to format it, right? I can try to format an output of this object. I can try to do this trick. Let's see if it actually works. Okay. Oh, because it's like this. Yeah. Perfect. Now it works. So it's good. It's very good. So I just need to put an expectation like this. And then I can put here, yeah, so can I use something like Rust string like this? Yeah, correct. A reason should be invalid JSON structure provided. So perfect. This is a way how you can actually test that you return the correct object. Perfect, perfect. Now I'm happy. Now I'm happy that I actually can try it out. Okay, invalid JSON structure is provided. Let's just hardcode it. Invalid JSON structure is provided. Okay, it tells me that something is wrong. Okay, wrong command. Reason. Expected, and in the actual value there is just redundant space. Okay, so let's see. Can I put the rest of the tests like that? It's gonna be crazy, but you know, at least I can test out my factory that it works correctly by parsing the data from JSON. So here we have create command from JSON string as well. Here we're gonna add into, and here I expect that it's gonna equal can I somehow create a function here like create command JSON string, and here I'm just gonna return back this one. Yeah, I actually also want to pass a static reference here, and I want to transfer it into a JSON string, and it's gonna return us back a string of data that is formatted. So I can just replace it like this, and I can remove all of these things, and basically this one should show me this wrong command, and now I can use this method everywhere. So string from okay, this one can be removed. This one can be removed. This one can be removed. Also, this one can be removed. Yeah, the strings from can be removed altogether. And as well, I think I can improve a little bit with my improved Rust knowledge. Now I know that you can have multi-line strings like that. You don't need to escape every new line and escape every single quote. You can just make your code and your test data much more better to read. Let's see. Okay, and now this one seems like good. Validation, yeah, we will fix the rest of the things later. So let's run it. Let's see if it fails. Expected str found struct std string. Where does it fails? It's probably the place where I didn't replace this one. Yeah, so this is the port I forgot to replace. Okay, the trait new cannot be made into an object, and why it happens? Okay. Oh, because I don't compare it to a string. Ambitious associated type command. Yeah. Oh yeah, because actually find image command So here's how it should look like. And here's the wrong comment. Wrong comment. Wrong comment. Resize image command. And here we do new with this path. We're gonna convert it into the path itself. Now we have vector of image target. And it's gonna be 320 by 400. Okay, good. And yeah, here I forgot to convert it into actually I probably have just to remove for now this wrongly created tests. I will just implement them one by one. Let's see. What's the problem here? Again, mismatched types. Expected struct. Got std string, it's okay. Std string, it's okay. And why here it's still using, oh yeah, because it's still a command. So did you mean wrong command? No, I mean, oh, it's already actually implemented as a test case. So let's see what else is here. So here, for instance, find image command. So this is how it should create a command for finding an image. Now I need to specify a string representation of this trait. So it's gonna be something along these lines. So find image command, then we specify path equals to this value, right? So this should be a string representation of the command created by that test. And here it should be an invalid input, and reason should be unknown command type provided. Right, so this is gonna be a reasonable test case, and yeah, let's remove for now these ones. Let's run it. Yeah, it fails because find image is not equal to the wrong command. So let's take our code here. So first of all, we're gonna match a value from a string. So here I'm gonna just copy this code and okay, so third JSON value was already imported somehow. Oh no, not in our case. Why it's, yeah, it's still not here. Okay, third JSON value. Okay, so this is it. And now we're gonna take a look at the factory. So create command from JSON string. And let's return here image. Find image command new from a value. Oh, yeah. Let's copy over this function. And here we see it creates command from parse JSON value, and it should return us back an implementation of the command as well. And it should be find image command new pass a string yeah, let's just return none here, and by default we just return none. It shouldn't compile, right? Because we found an image option. Okay. Let's just create one with empty reason, so at least it can compile. Okay. Oh, I see. So the problem is that I need actually to create a separate method, create command for find image command. So I need to create a function for every single command factory. Let's see if it's gonna work. So it's gonna be find image command new path. And I probably also need to create a function for create wrong command, and here should be a reason, and here we also need to return back an implementation of the command itself, and here we need to return back wrong command new with the reason. And in such a way we probably can create wrong command. Actually we can use here str, or actually yeah, we can use, definitely we can use a string reference here, and we can transform it into a string at this stage here. So I'll have more simplified code here, and here we are again gonna create the wrong command. Let's see if it's gonna compile. Expected type, found type, opaque type. Okay, cool. Okay, create match JSON path, then we create find image command. Match arms have incompatible types. Yeah, it's clear. But yeah, here is, I think, a fix for that. No, found expected opaque type but found a different opaque type. Okay, this is getting more and more complicated. So what can we do here? Okay, I think I have to finish the stream right now, because yeah, it doesn't make sense to just stare at this thing and not understand what's happening. I just completely lost here. So yeah, it makes sense for me to go back to Rust documentation and look how trade implementation for this thing is gonna work, because I just want to have a polymorphic abstraction over the command API. So I just want to invoke this process handlers and hash keys and merge with on top of the command itself. I don't want to yeah, just be bound by the types in Rust. So yeah, it's a little bit complex, I think. Okay, thank you very much for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed it. It was a lot of interesting struggles for me today, so I have to get back to Rust documentation and learn what's happening there. Okay, bye bye everyone.